Welcome to this week's Practice Makes Perfect. How are you, Stephen?
What are you saying, John?
Steve,
What's happened to you?
I'm become a little robotic. I've got these. No, seriously, I'm wearing.
Oh, that's better.
I'm wearing the Pro Aim glasses now. These aren't a gimmick. These are a serious, top level training aid for your putting. It's called the Pro Aim glasses, and what they do, Steve, is they have a look through them. There's a grid that actually gets you lined up with your head nice and
Interesting, John, aren't they?
It gets you talking a bit like that after a while, but no, what it does, Steve, you see those two grid lines that go parallel like a railway track.
Yep.
What it's to is to get your head and your body and everything lined up with a putt. So the putter faces are one of the right angles to the grid also, and what you do is you put them on and make sure that you see the tracks running towards the to the hole, but your head's tilted on the right angle. If you go a little bit that way,
sure,
it runs off to the left. If you go that way, it goes off to the right. So
how do you read this putt, John?
Well, I think it's a probably a little bit of right to left here, I think. So I can get myself nice and square. There we go. And I'll just putt through that.
It's going a bit that way, so I'd actually recommend you set the track a bit to the left.
To the left, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Unfortunately, the producer's got us on a funny angle here. He doesn't give us an easy hole to putt in.
Perfect, that's better.
There you go.
But that's fine. But when you're lining putts up to all our viewers there, we're not lining up at the hole. We're lining up at our line we're wanting the ball to start on. So that's the key there, John.
Sure.
So the hole is the outcome, but the line we want the ball to start on is the key. So if you're wearing these glasses, you actually want to get the grid set on your starting line of the ball.
So you're better off having a straight putt if you're going to practice with these.
Yes, but then you might want to take them out to right to left putts and exaggerate that and actually get the line a foot to the right of the hole, get the ball starting on that line, and then get it curving back in, and vice versa on a left to right putt.
Sure. Now, what I noticed, Steve, is when I my head tilted a little bit too far to the right.
Yep.
You know, obviously it was pointing to the left. How many putters do you see, Steve, have their heads, their shoulders and their head tilted the wrong way towards the hole?
Or you're talking about good putters? Or?
About alignment, yeah.
Oh, I'd say most putters that are poor putters, almost all of them have bad alignment.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah, because that is the premise then for a bad stroke, because then the compensations need to be made, and the margin for error is greater when they do that. Well,
as we said, this is a very serious device, because I think Butch Harmon, one of the top Tigers ex-coach, he has a video on this, and he swears by it. And I've seen a lot of the tour players in the US on golf shows over there practicing with these. So obviously they're a very, very important device to get you lined up nice and
One thing for sure that pros are more interested in when they're playing tournaments on the practice range, it's not so much their golf swing, it's more importantly alignment. Because what their eyes see to what is real is what they want to know. They want that perception of their vision.
Okay, so the overall concept, I'm going to give this about an 8 out of 10, Steve. What's your rating on it, mate?
I'm going to agree with you for a change. Okay. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because it excites me that you can actually line up without having someone tell you you're aiming to the left or aiming to the right. So you can actually do this at home on your own or on the practice screen. People are going to think you're a bit weird when you start talking like you were. But it's certainly
well, I guarantee you won't be talking like I was,
okay.
earlier. But it's a good habit again to get yourself alignment all set up properly. So that's this week's Practice Makes Perfect. If you want any information on the product or anything we discussed during our segment, just go to the website for more details. We'll see you next week.